Welcome back to Steve Robb Reviews. Today it's all about a butane soldering torch. Now I've took the tip off the end and I put on a blade. And I'm going to show you a couple of things today that a lot of people maybe have tried using knives, some kind of electric cutting tools, all kinds of different things. And today I'm going to show you a couple of practical uses for having one of these. Now you can go electric as well, but it's got to be, like a fairly decent electric, soldering iron that you can put like a small little cutting tip. And they come with different cutting tips you can put in. This is a fairly blunt one right here. Can you hear it? Yeah, it's on high. And we're going to show you a couple of things that you can do with electric or butane soldering irons with a cutting tip on the end. So I've got a project here that's going to be, well, a future video. You can take a guess, see if you can guess what it's going to be about, but I don't think too many are going to be able to guess it. And I'm going to show you how this cuts into plastic so good. And of course I'm going to use my my new hot glue gun, and I'll show you how this project works, and let's get started right now. So what you're looking at here is just a regular plastic container, and I want to actually just cut out a section here with a hinge door that I can prop up, and I'll show you what the glue gun's for. So it is so easy just to use one of these, and I just use this little as a template, and you can just come along here like this and just follow the wood along, and it's cutting right straight through the plastic. And it's not hard at all to do. And I'll do this side over here. You don't got to be that particular for what I'm using it for. And then I'll bring you back. I have to take these two clamps off, and I'll show you what I'm going to do on the next part. So the next part is just holding it myself and just very carefully just make a small little score across. Okay, I'll bring you over to the workbench here and we'll finish the rest of it off. Okay, so all I've done is just put the same stick in there, so I've got 1.25 inch space between the bottom where I cut and the hinged part on the top. So all I'm going to do now is just apply the hot glue, and the reason why I'm applying the hot glue is because it reinforces the door and it makes it stay open. And that's all. I mean, that's it right there. I'll let that dry and then I'll show you the results and another great idea of using the hot knife on the butane soldering iron, and something that maybe a lot of you in the automotive industry have tried to tackle before, and that is tapping into a wire. So here you are, just a 14 gauge wire, automotive wire, and you're in a position where you don't want to cut the wire, but you want to tap into it. Well, all you have to do is just use one of these, and it's so easy. You can see how that's just melting that right off there. Can you? This just melts it right off real nice. Doesn't damage the wire at all, and it allows you to just take your time and slowly just zip off a piece of casing. So there's your bare wire. Now before, how many of you have been using knives where you're digging into the wire, you're trying to cut back and forth? Well, you end up cutting your thumb, right? This is so easy just to use the hot knife. Well, there's just two examples of so many things that you could use the hot knife for, and you just have to use your own imagination for what you can create, because it'll cut through, like rubber, plastic. Sometimes you want to actually make a hole in something and you can't fit, like a drill in there or anything. Well, you can use one of these and just carve yourself out a nice little hole, or, make something like this. So that's it right here. I mean, it's nothing fancy, but this is for a future project. And it does a great job, because you can just imagine trying to use a knife on that, because most of these materials are very brittle. So if you try and, you know, use a cutting tool of some sort, well, it shatters. And, you know, using a knife, well, you know what, most times, well, it's going to be dangerous, right? So, you know, I just thought I'd show you a couple of these little tips today, and use your own imagination in the future of what you could use a hot knife for. Because just think of all the different automotive uses for when you just want to remove something that's meltable, or, you know, take a little piece off of something, or bare a wire, any of these type of things. Because if you take a look at this, man, that does an excellent job. If you see, it does an excellent job of burying the wire. And, you know, just for one little situation like that, where that's a time saver. So thanks for joining me here today. Hope you enjoyed this little bit of a demonstration on what you can do with a hot knife. I prefer the butane myself. It does get smoking hot compared to electric. Electric seems to, well, die down fast, so you have to actually wait till it heats up again. The butane, it's good. So thanks for joining me here today. If you've never seen this channel before, you're welcome to subscribe. Come back again, see some interesting stuff that maybe you've never seen before. Cheers.